Okay, we should be going. Tell me if my fan is too annoying. I'll bring that up again when there's like actually some people here. But I just want to make sure it's not too loud, but it's fucking hot. So it's like it's one of those trade-offs. Oh, it is a little loud in the background. Let me hear that. I guess it's not so bad. If people don't like it enough, I'll turn it off. But it's fucking hot though. Well, I'm hyped for the chapter. Apparently Mishima said that he was a fan of this one. I'm very intrigued on what they're going to do with Gray and what the whole plan is with Gold Owl, because Gold Owl is really weird. Like, they're just a really strange, out-of-nowhere addition to this arc. And the only thing I can think of, if there is a plan for them, is to have some connection to Vierna's, because gold and alchemy. That's all I really got, at least as of right now. The whole existence of this alchemist intrusion, assuming it's more than just Sai, it's just again, it's a really strange turn. I don't think I saw coming at all, because I didn't think Machine was going to throw in some random characters out of absolutely nowhere to join in and start contributing in some way to the whole Dogra Labyrinth. I guess they're trying to steal them. What I'd wonder is, like, if you broke it, would it just fully, like, break apart and like disappear, or would they still be able to use it? It's like, hey, you can keep that, but I need to break it, so whatever, you know, where power is attached to it will fade off, or at least I guess connection to Dogromag. But probably at that point it won't be as good. I don't know. It's like, it'd be, I feel like if like Gray's in one of those spots where, depending on the whatever the context for Sai, that you could try and talk to him. But if Sai does have some like weird aggression situation with these Signario sisters that apparently will murder him or whatever his deal is, if he doesn't bring the whole Dogra core back, then I don't know. I feel like it's a situation that either Gray should be able to kind of explain the logic of, like, yeah, we don't want this terrifying dragon dude to just pretty much go around and decimate anything. Your guild won't be able to operate if he just goes and lays waste to everything. What are you going to do to fight a dragon? Oh, how am I doing? I'm good. Oh, Shadow Jr. missed his first spot. What's up, though? How are you guys doing today? We got the chapter coming out in about 27 minutes. I started early because I won't be able to stay on long after the chapter comes out. I'll only be able to stay about 20 or so minutes after that point. So I want to get any chat with you guys out before we get to that point, for the most part. And then just like if I have enough time to answer a couple questions, I'm busy, I do work, so I still want to get the stream going. That's why I really wanted to start early, so I could get a decent amount of time and get, you know, a fair amount of interaction with you guys as well, for any questions or any last second theories going on. One that I've had is the idea if Gold Owl was going to somehow connect to Gray's progression. Not from, like, a fight where it has something to do with Juvia, but if, similar to how the potential, I'm not going to say for sure, the potential that Natsu could go train and get stronger with Diablo, so he doesn't need, the fact that Suzaku and Natsu, I was going to be like, he doesn't have to join up their guild, but it's just like, I don't really need to explain that. It's going to ditch Fairy Tail to go be a Diabolist for 2 weeks or something. But the whole potential now that Suzaku and Natsu are becoming allies is that they can get over the misunderstanding between the Fairy Tail and Diablos guilds. And with that, Natsu could be in a really good spot. Other dragons as well, but I think Natsu's the main character, has a really good spot to train and progress with other Dragon Slayers, especially with a few that are around his level. So that'd be like a huge way that he could get stronger in a very natural-like environment. You know, just putting in a Dragon Slayer with other Dragon Slayers level, let him skirmish, get stronger, and see where it goes. But it's like the whole Alchemist Guild. What if Mishima wants to take Gray there and have Gray get some form of upgrade there? Because Maker Magic, it's not alchemy, but it's similar to alchemy. And I feel like with Gray, who's going to be using water magic this chapter, I would assume, because he literally ended last chapter prepping up a water make spell. What are my PC specs? I don't know. I have to check. Whenever I get to the point where I'm going to start upgrading my PC, maybe I'll do like a PC stream or something. Normal Black Clover chapters or Chainsaw Man chapters. I'm going to get back to those. Like I said, I've been busy. I've been catching up a lot of stuff, and I'm about good. With Chainsaw Man, I'm just waiting a couple chapters to get in before I really do any videos on the current stuff. Because if it was straight to Denji, it'd be a lot easier to do a chapter review and talk about it, but it's like, it's one of those shifts where it's not even, oh yeah, it's not like looking at a JoJo's part, like, oh yeah, it's a new main character, but you have some characters from the old one and like connections, but it's like a time skip and they're older and whatnot. It's way, and I know there's different JoJo's for any secret JoJo fans pop out at me, but it's way different in like, it's the whole different cast. It's a point where this chick is now going after Denji and the Chainsaw Man. So there's a lot in there that I want to see just kind of unpack and get set up before I really go into Chainsaw Man stuff. Because I really do want to do Chainsaw Man content, but I want to reread through the series like at least one more time, just to refresh it in my memory before the anime and stuff comes out. And Black Clover is kind of like where Eden Zero's at. It's just like I've been trying to figure out some stuff with like my videos and my editing, and obviously, like I said, balancing a schedule. I just haven't had the time recently. I'm working it around to try and get stuff back. I really want to do, I think my plan will just be for other series outside of Fairy Tail, I'll do shorter reviews. And I think that might be the better plan. And then I'll keep more of my longer conversations to streams. Just because it's like, you know, those, if I do three, say like I do like 3 or 4 reviews on like series outside of that, and like each of them are 10 minutes versus 6 minutes, you know, those minutes add up to how much I can really kind of put in it. When will chapter 14 be out? 23 minutes. Is Suzaku power-up coming our way like Dragon Force? I think Natsu's going to have to break him out of there, or like a joint effort. Because one, he's not just going to use Dragon Force. 5th Gen Dragon Force is a no going back point. You need some form of outside influence to be able to fix it. So I don't think that Suzaku is going to use it. Plus it's banned in their guild. He's not just going to break the rules for no reason. We know Suzaku is a very, like, he's a straight man. He is by the guild, for the guild. He's a good guy. He's not just going to throw it away, I think, unless the situation really demands it. Like, if he was in a spot where an ally might die and his only option was to use Dragon Force, that's when I think Suzaku would do it. Suzaku is like, Suzaku in a lot of ways, it's like if you took a lot of Natsu's core, but merged it with Urza to have that kind of, like, it has that obviously like the strong dedication to your allies and your guild and stuff, but has Urza's kind of like tight thing to like the rules, and has like that, I think it's that swordsman honor style kind of thing. Gray using water and ice maker magic, interesting. I think what it's gonna happen is it's gonna be more like Gray is gonna get the hang of using water magic, and just knowing how water in the environment and the fluidity of water is going to advance his ice make. Like the fact that, like, what if it's like, okay, he just like freezes because like he knows where water is more. Say Gray wasn't aware of how much water is really in the environment around him, including stuff like water in the, just like general water, like in the air, water in plants, trees, in people's bodies or whatever. Just like the abundance of water that he wouldn't really notice unless like he was specifically told or looked into it. Because it's not like Gray went to fucking whatever high school science or whatever classes. Like, you know, their world doesn't have that set up. So say like he gets this more understanding of water, and he's able to freeze things to like a more core or like dynamic set, like way more technique based or something. Or just like if it's way less effort for him to freeze an area because he knows how to utilize the water in the environment or something like that. I think that would be really cool. Or if it's like, it takes more magic for Gray to just make ice out of nothing versus freeze water. So he's able to freeze a lot of the water in the area. It saves him a ton of magic or whatnot. What's your opinion on the handling of Gray in 100 Years Quest? I think Gray's handling overall has been fine. My complaints with him is about the same, where it's like everybody who's like aggressively hating on Gray for it, I think is just because it's a little bit funny and memeful too, which I'm not mad at. But it's like, when you want to actually be serious, Gray's character looks fine. It's just that Gray hasn't gotten any power upgrades. He hasn't gotten any new moves. He hasn't gotten anything that's like from a fighting, like Gray standalone, from the people who are like interested in Gray, what he can do, what he's capable of, we've gotten really nothing for Gray in 100 Years Quest other than it's like, okay, he's relevant in strength. Still, the closest we've seen is that large-scale dynamic ice make with Akune. That's like the only thing we've really had with Gray having a form of addition for it. Like, he's had tons of great stuff with Juvia, and I think his character development around that has been fantastic. But it's mostly only been character stuff, which is cool, but it's like when everybody else is getting lots of cool action-related things and upgrades and new powers and whatnot, it feels like Gray gets left behind, and he hasn't. That's the weird part. But I'm hoping that's what's going to be with the Sai stuff, with being in Juvia's body and whatnot. The issues is that Fairy Tail never said people can use different magics. What? They all of a sudden became convenient specific characters like Laxus Final Mark. That's not true. What? People have been able to use multiple magics all of Fairy Tail. What do you mean? Even as early as like Mako using transformation magic in Purple Flare. Makarov using giant magic and light magic and fire magic. Makarov uses fire magic in the second chapter and second episode. Tons of people have multiple magics. So I'm very confused on where that's coming from. Like I almost said telekinesis. Telepathy in transformation magic are so standard in the verse. Oh, hold on a second. The new chapter's not out for about 18 minutes, Space Guy. Just give it a few minutes. But it's like, there's no shot. Yeah, Jalal uses multiple magics. Like, almost all of the older characters, the more experienced, use multiple magics. It's just that the reason is, if you have a good magic that you specialize in, there's probably not, and you're not like a prodigy or something. You're not someone like Jalal, who's able just to have all these magics. You're not somebody who's like been out for decades, like Makarov. You are somebody who's just a regular wizard. You're going to have one magic for the most part, and maybe some utility magic. The main characters never use any other magic than their own. What did I just explain it to you? Most characters do not use multiple magics. The characters that do, it's like you have characters that only use their magic. They have one magic they primarily use. Then you have characters that have some utility, some stuff like telepathy, transformation magic, or will have magic tools like wind reading glasses, and then you'll have people who will actually learn multiple magic because they have the talent and intelligence for it. Not everybody has multiple magics. Well, Urza's, he's talking about like that they haven't had it for a long time. Urza's enchantment is new, and she picked it up from Wendy. But it's like, we've always had people with multiple magics. And if you want to talk about the main cast, Natsu, Lucy, and Happy have all used transformation magic at points in the series. It's just all in the extra chapters, but they are canon. But it's like the main cast doesn't have to. The point is, we've known that you are not bound. And it's like, not even that. In the main cast, Gray has two magics. Gray has Ice Make and he has Devil Slaying. But it's like, if you want to go all the way back, characters have been able to do this. Just not a lot of people do it. Not everybody is rolling around with 15 different magics. Like, that's ridiculous. You gotta reread the series, my guy, or at least look stuff on the wiki or something before you make comments like that. That's one of those ones where it's like, what would be an equivalent? It would be like if it was, what's one? What's a series that has like a weird power setup like that? Because it's like Seven Deadly Sins, you're kind of born with your magic. Same thing with Black Clover. In One Piece, the only person that has two devil fruits is Blackbeard, and that's not even known why. I guess like the equivalent would be like if you try to say nobody could have two devil fruits, and it's like Blackbeard exists. But it's way different because the magics in Fairy Tail aren't branded to you at birth. If you have magic or you learn how to use magic, you then can learn how to use a spell. Use a different branch of magic. It's all up to the capability of the user. It's just that most people don't want to use two magics, I would assume. But it's like even Laxus is back as as the fighting festival, he was using lightning magic, he was using lightning dragon slayer magic, he was using fairy law, he was using levels of telepathy. So I'm very confused at this. Is the 100 Year Versus anime coming out in 2022 or going to be 2023? My guess, honestly, at this point is 2023. We've gotten nothing on it. So I made a comment about this on Twitter, and somebody said that Mishima actually, I haven't seen this post or where he said it. He said that Mishima and them actually admitted they announced it too early. Meliodas doesn't use his magic, though. Well, but Meliodas, like the darkness stuff, that's all a racial ability. That's something that all of the demons have, like, set, like, because it's not just the demons. Like, all the races, the magical races, have, like, a set racial magic they can use. That's not their own personal magic. Meliodas, like, I don't know what the deal is with Meliodas' personal magic, or unless that was what Trillion Dark was supposed to be, or what. Because, yeah, full counter is a technique he learned. That is true. He learned that from Chandler. Lucius about to kill Asta. I don't think he's gonna kill him. That'd be a really cool way if I just know, oh no, never mind. My cat's been in here. She's just hanging out on the floor for some reason. One thing that'd be really cool if they started it out, just because Asta got so much spotlight near the end of the last arc, and we're just because of the way that it's like we ended the last arc and we're immediately getting into conflict in this next arc. It's very close to the last time Asta had like a lot of spotlight, and he's the main character. But you know what I mean when it feels weird, like how close these points are, but we obviously understand the context as of why. If Asta was defeated in this battle, oh, I just fucking smacked the shit out of part of my mic stand. If Asta was defeated and then rendered unable to fight for a little bit, and characters had to go and find a way to fix Asta, and it doesn't have to be like, oh, a year of that. It could be a volume, and then Asta gets fixed, but that leads to something else, and that kind of leads to like them trying to fix the scenario. Like, what if they, like, the whole, I know a lot of people have had this idea, like, what if they have to retreat to the land of the sun, and that's where training with that is going to happen, and that's how we get there. If telepathy is basic magic, why did Misaki freak out when Urza used it? Urza wasn't using, telepathy. Urza was manipulating the magic in her armor to force herself to move. She was pretty much making herself a marionette. It's kind of like Ranso Tengai from Bleach, how the Quincy's can pretty much marionette themselves with their own reishi. Like, that's essentially what Urza was doing, but not literally as a puppet. She just controlling the magic in the parts of her body to manipulate her body. Like, she was being very smart about it. It was just she was doing a weird technical thing. But we know also that takes a lot of magic, just because it's like an advanced skill. Now, it doesn't even seem like a, well, I guess technically it would be a power level thing, but it isn't stuff like a power inducing thing. It's more of just like a hard way to do something kind of maneuver. People can't read properly. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand how you get to like that far in and think people are like only can know one magic. Meliodas Demon King with 6 heart, immortality as no, he's not. Meliodas would get clapped by so many people. Like, Zareth would stand there, stop time, walk over, touch him, take all the magic out of his body, and then just, what does Meliodas do now? And then he just slaps the shit out of him. Slow Jutsu and Kaisen for slow. Yeah, Mach 3, man. They're, like, hammered now, set at Mach 3. And it's like, there are verses that they're stronger than, but it's funny because, like, this is obviously, like, not where Satoru's level is, but I don't think it's, like, he's going to be, I don't think it's like, oh, yeah, top-tier characters who are, you know, special grade level, who are, I guess it's weird for, like, where Maki, I guess, is supposed to be, but you know what, the Naoya, like, if, I don't know if he's at his final stage, but he is, like, like, he did hatch from his cursed womb, so he's definitely, like, a special grade now, right? So he should be somewhere near the top, and if his speed is capping out at Mach 3, that's just gonna that's gonna mess up so many matches for Gojo to win unless you put it at speed equal. Denji versus Spade Devil Kingdom Black Asta. I mean, Asta doesn't have any real way to do much to Denji other than cut his heart, but anti-magic isn't going to really do anything to him at all. I'd probably just give it to Asta speed blitzing, though. That should be telekinesis. No, it's not telekinesis, because like telekinesis is like a psychic power. You're using your mind to like, it's hard to say without like trying to say like whatever what is it, Esper or whatever, like the general kind of energy source that psychic characters use sometimes, right? I know that like it's not as common as saying like a wizard using magic or something, or I mean, I guess or like a science character or whatnot, or chakra or whatever. But I think there's something kind of like that. It's different because she's not using her mind that way. She's manipulating the magic in her body. It's more like just like a general wizard technique up to a really high level. Explain Urza versus Irene. I've done it. I have videos on it and stuff. If you were to use Lucy against Natsu, how do you think it would go? I think he would. I think he would try and kill her. I think he would set up to like set her on fire or something, kind of like do what they did to Claire, get ready to do like a execution flame thing. Think there's any chance 100 Years supposed to become weekly? If Ueda gets to the point where him and his team are comfortable with it, I could see that. Or if like Mishima starts to trust him more with 100 Years quest, and so, like I could see Mishima, like if I was Mishima and I knew at a point where this guy understands like the story, the characters and stuff, I would just have to like send over like the larger scale plot things and just say, here's the skeleton and work around it. Fill in the areas. You know how the characters are gonna talk. I trust you're gonna know how fights between X, Y, or Z go, or anything like that. Lucy claps Space Natsu. I agree to that. I think she beats Space Natsu right now. Like she's looking pretty good. I think Lucy right now could potentially even beat Lightning Flame Dragon mode Natsu. I don't think when she gets to 100 Years quest, Fire Dragon King mode, I think the gap once Natsu starts to get that of like the level of like AoE heat, the level of raw physical strength, the magic burning, I don't think she's able to handle that. It's because like Dragon Slayer is just like the worst case scenario for a summoner. Meliodas fought the Demon King who created worlds. The Demon King didn't create worlds. He got trapped in a dimension. Like he didn't do anything to live up to that either. And he got beat by an attack its power amount was it was capable of destroying Britannia, which is like a small country. Like yeah, the whole, when you have a character who's hyped up like that and there's literally nothing to support it, and on top of that, he was a fraud. Because, like, him and the Supreme Goddess were, like, hyped up and talked about as being, like, these OP creators of everything, like, the gods of the verse. But it was chaos, and they just kind of, they hid the truth to pretend. Like, imagine being at the top, and the only reason you're actually at the top is because you and your other fucking B-lister are pretending the bigger guy doesn't exist and not telling everybody. Like, he's a fraud. Do you think Indy at full power will be a bigger threat than Dragon Gods? Yes. I want to see at least one of the Black Dragon Slayer Knights use Dragon Force. I think one of them will. It'll probably be Misaki or Kirin. Wait, what Acnologia lost to one attack? Well, Acnologia got mega nerfed by motion sickness, because motion sickness just dramatically cripples Dragon Slayers. A weakness is a weakness. It just is what it is. It's like getting mad if somebody beats Superman with Kryptonite. Or somebody beats somebody in One Piece because you used like the ocean on a Devil Fruiter. It's just one of those things. A mega weakness is a mega weakness. There's nothing you can do about that. Harried all 4 arcs on Her's Quest. I'd have to do a stream. Maybe after this one we'll do like a arc so far stream. Oh, I haven't even posted the stream. Let me put up a tweet. Let me just say like it's a gray chapter obviously, so it's just gonna be I'll say incoming gray hype hours. Hype hours. There you go. Fantastic. Alderon Merc, Elentier, Kern arc. I would, because it's like at the peak of the Ermina arc, I would say is better than Elentier, but I think Elentier in its larger like overall structure was better. Because Elentier had more going on with the story. We had a lot going on with Celine. The stuff with Suzaku was really cool. And I was a big fan of like Lucy's fight. I think Lucy's fight in that arc, it's better than every fight in the Ermion arc except for Natsu versus Mercephobia, just because the sheer fucking hype around that was insane, and it set up some stuff for the story, which is really cool. The Alderaan arc being the best, yeah, I mean I definitely put that as the top so far. Anyway, I gotta get to the chapter. Will be out in about 4 minutes. I would really appreciate it. I'm just gonna do my shill now. Anybody who's here, we got like between 18 to 20 people here, 6 likes. I'd really appreciate you guys would thumbs up the stream, hit the like button, if you would. Subscribe if you haven't. I do the chapter streams every chapter. I do other weekly streams. I try and get at least one other stream a week. Been a little busy lately, but I've been working on it, and I'm getting back to my content. I will tell you, I'm going to do a couple more videos soon. I'm going to put out my Gajo video I've been really wanting to do. I've been thinking about that, and if Gold Owl is going to potentially be connected to Viernes, I need to get my Gajo video out before we even get to Viernes at all. I really want to get to that. And I'm really hoping soon we can get Scully and Admiral up, because I want to do videos on them, but there's not nearly as much content to do on them as, like, say, what we got with Kyria. Because, like, Kyria has a lot of stuff, so even if she doesn't have a lot of wins, she's got a lot to her character we've seen, and a lot we can kind of go around in events. So hopefully they'll get back up, do something this arc, and then I can do videos on those two, because I've been waiting to do it. And maybe flashbacks, I can get some of freaking Georg. Just stopping to say, what's up to my boy? What's up, Goal? How's it going? Oh, Goal, what was, crap. Sandman. You watched Sandman, right? Was it good? I haven't watched it yet. I watched the Prey movie, and I thought that was pretty good. I was, like, going into it being a little uncertain, but when I saw some of the complaints, I knew it was like, okay, it was just a false alarm. Because, like, people were complaining about, like, the girl fighting the Predator, and they were talking about, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger and comparing him to the size of this girl. And I was like, but Arnold didn't win because of his size. Like, he won because he got smart and went to fight a way that, like, a Native American is going to, like, do by default, because that's how they were at that time. And she's gonna have more because it'd be like she has the fact that she had the home field advantage, because, like, the whole thing, it's like it's the first Predator coming down, so this is a new planet to him, and this is where she lives. So I was like, it made no sense for some of the complaints. It didn't come off as like any of the unfortunate wokeness. It was like, okay, cool. They just made this chick cool, and it was just like they wanted to make a female. Like the main character was just female. They didn't make her like Rey fucking from Star Wars, and then just, yeah, we want to have a female main character. Scrap Finn, and then don't write anything for her character. I want to check out Prey. Still, it's good. I definitely recommend it. Way better than the previous Predator movie, the Predator or whatever the fuck. Outside transmutes him back to normal. I think he will if he's in a spot where he realizes, like, this is not good. I'm screwing myself over with this. But it's like, I don't think he can really do anything else. Like, I don't think he can do anything to Gray by himself. I think Gray is just going to be able to beat him anyway if Gray goes back to base. More of the question to me is, like, what else does Sai have offensively? Because so far he's got, like, a hacks that can be good in some scenarios, and then he's got a chain that he, like, swings around for melee attacks. And it's, like, a good start, but I expect him to have at least a couple more dangerous techniques. Like, I need him to have at least one move that's, like, oh shit, I can't let this hit me. Or if it's not, like, some crazy broken, like, hacks, it's one of those moves that it's through hacks, like, it does damage. Like, I turn the dandruff on your skin to acid or something, and it's like, it's something that doesn't have anything to do with power levels. It turns something that's on you into, like, something dangerous. Something like that, where it just outright, that's a scary ability. It's not something like insane, but it's something that would be hard to kind of work around. That is what I'd like, but we'll see. Final arc, we're hyped to destroy country. August final attack. Well, August was going to melt a country the size of Russia. Like, you gotta. One thing I'll say before I get to the chapter, you gotta keep in mind. Oh wait, how do you think they'll react to indie stuff? Oh, I mean, most of them, I think they'll be pretty shocked. I think Lucy is just gonna be the key and all that. But I will say real quick before I get to the chapter. You gotta keep in mind whenever characters say, like, a size, like an island, country, continent, what is the context for the land they're on or the verse? Because in Fairy Tail, we know their countries are huge compared to ours. So Fiore, which is a small country to them, is like the size of one of our continents. Like, it's big. But anyway, I'm going to get to the chapter. Let's see. We got a nice, just general group chapter. I guess no, because it's, Urza's not in the chapter at all. Like, not on the cover. It's Gray, Natsu, Juvia, and Lucy. So that's definitely like a ship one that Mishima's trying to be a little sly with. Okay, we got Gray. He's still just prepping up a water make spell. Oh, he's doing like a version of Freeze Lancer, but it's with water. And I think there's more of them. Probably, I guess, like it's easier to do that with water than with ice. He's just doing an, I guess, water make hammer. Okay, I'm trying. I think Gray's running into something. Like he does what? So like the water. I think the problem is he's gonna realize like he can't fight entirely like himself like this because he's using the water make lance. I assume it's not freeze lance or just water make lance. He's using a lance. Sai's able to dodge it. He uses the hammer. It like hits, but it doesn't do. Obviously, it's water. It's not gonna do the level of physical damage as ice. You have to pressurize it way more, and I'd be surprised if Gray does that. It just makes me wonder like what is he gonna do with that with ice? Oh, don't tell me the last page. I'm getting through the chapter. So is he gonna? I'm wondering if he's gonna have to think of like how to modify the way he's fighting. Like again, like pressurize the water or condense it, or is he gonna start fighting more like Juvia? Maybe he's gonna like start thinking more like Juvia and start try. Okay, he's using like a large water blade attack. Ooh, this is cool. He does like one from the ground. All right, I want to see something like neat. Okay, so what does he turn? Okay, he turns Gray back to normal. So that was one. Who called that? Let me give someone the kudos because like that's something that I feel like is a very fair conclusion to come to at some point for him if he's in this spot where Sai would want to, like, this is a problem. I got to undo this and like get this guy back to base. But obviously, you brought it up before the chapter, so let me see. Yeah, Hirumi, you made a good point. You were the chapter is out. We're going through the chapter right now. So Gray, what is Gray doing? Hold on. So Gray went back to his normal self. So he's doing some new pose though? No, okay. It's just a weird movement into Ice Make. What is this move he does? He's doing like, it's like an instantaneous freeze. This is pretty cool. So this is what I was talking about. I really wanted Gray to get some form of advancement in how he does his powers in some way, shape, or form. So like when he does, I think he's using like pretty much Water Slicer, but it's like Ice Make Water Slicer, I'm guessing. And then does it with ice, but you actually can see where his hand starts because he does like a weird neat like movement into Ice Make where he like has like I don't know, it's like this weird aura around him. I don't know if that's supposed to be the cold or it's like water or he's getting prepped. But he goes into his Ice Make stance and you can actually see where his hand is where it starts, this flat palm, water, like the ice guiding. So it's like he had a point of starting and he's just freezing everything until he gets to a location. So that's pretty cool. If Gray, like it's hard because it's like, it's a cool way, like it's a nice way to look at it as like a hypothesis of how he's going to do it. Like it's a good first display, but it makes me just go like, well, I wish we got to see like 2 more attacks like this from Gray. And the chapter's not done yet, so give me a second. I don't want us to rush to the end if there's anything crazy at the end. But like I like this because it's like I can see where I think Mishima's going with it, but it's still vague that I feel like most people aren't going to be satisfied enough for like a Gray upgrade. But it is cool because it's like one of those things like I think Gray is going to really progress from here. Like I wonder how like he tends to really use this. Is it like I think he's going to try and make his ice just generally more fluid. Well, like, how is he, like, is he going to do something kind of like how when he attacked Marred Gear, and he was just doing, like, these hand waves, and it was freezing, like, just pretty much putting down and freezing ice at that location. But instead of it just being, like, I point a spot, I, like, attack hits, like, if you were thinking about, like, think about, like, a game, like, some games, like, they'll have the, like, displays of where your attack's going to go, instead of, like, a circle where, like, some ice pillar's going to go, it's, like, all of Gray's hands. Kind of like when we see Eraser attack. Like, what if Gray is like, anytime he moves his hand, everything in the location where his arm was traveling is freezing. And it's like, it's not that Gray is getting a new power technique, it's like his ice make is going to evolve to like when Gray fights, the environment is just going to freeze around him. I think that would be really cool. If it's just like, yeah, like he goes, like he uses an attack, you're seeing like everything, not even like in his attack range, it's just where his arm is swiping is freezing. Everywhere that every location he moves to while fighting somebody is just instantly freezing and creating more and more ice. I think that would be really sick. So he beat Sai, not surprised on that. Sai seemed like one of those characters again. I was surprised that he was even able to keep up with Gray's speed. But him being able to take a couple attacks from Juvia, I think is, like, because Juvia's power, I know Gray's like, oh, what if she's somebody as strong as me? Juvia's not as strong as you, Gray. Juvia, I think, has the potential still to be at that level. I think if it's one of those things where she has the untapped potential still within her, and then, like, if she's unlocking that, would put her at Spriggan level, I think that would make sense. But, like, Juvia, as of right now, hasn't had anything like that. We haven't seen anything like that recently. So I don't think that she's set to get one. So we'll see. But, like, Sai being able to even compete with the Juvia, like, current Juvia level characters is impressive. That's a pretty good spot to sit at. Because we know Juvia isn't at level to beat a Spriggan tier person or really kind of get close. But she's in that spot where she's kind of able to compete a little bit. Like, I would say that she's in Wizard Saint territory just fine. So in this dude Sai, top alchemy guild, we don't know where he ranks, but like him starting out, I guess. But it's like him as of now, after being in this guild and probably going to a lot of high level missions, him being Wizard Saint level, I think is fine. So let's see. We have Gray is like just looking over him. It looks like Sai mumbled something. I wonder if that's what it's going to be. Hopefully something about these Signario sisters. Juvia waking back up as Juvia, and Kana and Elfman are just there, nothing crazy. And then we get back to Natsu and Suzaku. And, okay, Dogremag, okay, sweet. Dogremag has his foot on Suzaku's face, that's unfortunate. It's probably a very dirty foot. He's an earth dude, so I imagine there's probably, like, dust. And his mouth's open, so there's probably dust and shit getting in there. Oh, okay, I thought it was a delivery guy. I think it's, like, the recycling trucks or something. Natsu's going in for an attack. Goes for hit. He's able to actually damage Suzaku. Okay, or not Suzaku, Dogremag. That makes sense. Like he's starting to get lower on his power. I think that at least the way that it's explained, and I'll do a video on it soon, that Dogremag, it's not like, I don't think it's the same as Alderaan, where Alderan's God Seeds, he's got the 4 God Seeds, each one destroyed will get him weaker. I think the way that Dogremag has been set up is that in his human form with his Dogra course setup, he can fight in his human form at full power, whereas like the other dragon gods in their human forms are weaker. But he's also like indestructible while it's up. So while each time that it's going to as we get the Dogra cores destroyed, his human form is going to turn back to its normal state. Because we know Dogremag was the weakest dragon god, his human form should be weaker than Selene's. And Selene in her human form was beaten by Suzaku, so Natsu and Suzaku combined should easily be able to defeat him, but he's apparently strong enough to beat up both of them, but we know that's because of the whole Dogra cores. So I think as it goes, he's going to get back to his original spot in his human form, and then have to go in his dragon form, and I think when he goes in his dragon form, it's going to take everybody to get involved. Okay, we got Gajil doing something? What? What? Hold on. What? What? Huh? Selene says they're at 42, so they're like close to half, so I think that would make sense. If close to half he starts to take damage and he's in a spot where he can actually get hurt again. Looks like he's starting to get a little mad. I think he's going to have to go in his human form. What the fuck? What? Dude, it's like, I was just like, I come back to the end, it's like Gajil's running something, and it's, is that God Serena, or is this just a coincidence? But it's like, he has the scar on the nose. But he's got longer hair, and he looks like him. Is his name written the same in Japanese? Hold on. Let me... Can I read the Japanese chapter? Let me see real quick. Let me see if I can find it real fast. What the fuck? This is weird. I don't think anybody would have really guessed this. I myself, absolutely included. I didn't foresee God Serena coming back. Like, what the... What? This is so strange. Okay, hang on. No, his name isn't written the same, I think. Let me see real fast. Oh, fuck. I took a screenshot, but I forgot they made it so you can't take screenshots. Let me see. Let me go back to chapter. I wonder, is it somebody just related to God Serena? Or is it him? What? I don't think his name is written the same. Hold on. I'm so uncertain about this. Maybe a twin? Because his name is written differently. Oh no, is that the... Hang on, let me go back really fast. Is that the... Is it the Wizard Saint title I was looking at? I'm so confused. And like, I'm trying to... It's more confusing of like me trying to figure out, it's like, is this the same character? Just a look-alike. I think that is him. I think that actually might be him. I think there's just an addition to the name. Because I went and looked, like, you know, I'm not a master of the kanji. Let me see real quick before I get a couple minutes before I gotta get out, off anyway. But let me see if there's any posts of the pictures on, online. See if anybody got those. Because I can't do screenshots on my phone. It won't let you anymore. What? Dude, the God Serena stuff is so strange. Like, what the fuck is this? Okay, let me see. Let me see this real fast. Let me see. I can do basic translate, basic Google Translate. But the name, I think, is the same. I think his name is mostly the same. Yeah. It's like there's a couple pieces of kanji in front of where he's introduced before. Let me see again really fast. Let me see again. Yeah, his name. So it's like if you look at the Japanese name, the first three characters on the bottom row are new, but the rest is the same. But it makes me wonder. It's like, is God Serena, like, is it going to be one of those things where God Serena is like his first name, or like maybe the god was a title, his real name is just Serena something, and then the rest will be part of his real name? What is he doing with Gold Owl then? Oh, hold on. I realized like I had my thing set to Spanish instead of translate Japanese, so like my phone's confused. Yes, is 8 Dragon God Serena. What? So he's an alchemist now? Is he the guild master? Maybe that's where that's gonna go. Let me see real quick. Alchemy Gold Owl, 8 Oh no, yeah, 8 Dragon God Serena. Huh. Okay. Okay. You know what? I'm not even mad about this. I've been on the train of like, if God Serena comes back somehow, I swear to God, Mishima, give fucking lore to him. I swear to God, I can finally do I'll say this before I go. This is the last thing I'm going to know. There was a video I wanted to do, and I've wanted to do, on, like, old theories that I had at the time of. Like, when Fairy Tail was still, like doing videos on Zareth back when people thought he was Dragon Slayer. To do a video on my hopes for a God Serena-like backstory before we potentially will actually get a backstory for this fucking guy. Like, this was weird. Like, this was such a weird shot, but it's like I'm on board to see where this goes. I'm very on board to see where this goes. All I would like to say is, Mishima, treat him fine. He doesn't have to catch. He doesn't have to go around beating everybody. Have him have a really good fight with Gajil, please. I just did a video on how Gajil needs a fight. This is perfect for him. Let's fucking do this. I am so hyped for the next chapter. Holy shit. Like, this is going to be such a weird match. I'm excited for this. Anyway, Gildarts needs 100 return hunters. No, this is for Gajil. No, Gildarts is fine. Get him out of the way. This is for Gajil. Gajil needs this. Anyway, I will talk to you guys. I'll do a video. I'm going to do a deep video once we get into the context of the chapter. When we get the fan translations and I can do like a review with context over the next day or so. Look forward to that. That's going to be an excited video. The last couple I've been intrigued, but it's like they haven't had like my full energy. This is going to be a full energy video. I'm super stoked for this. Anyway, other than that, I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I'm hoping by the next chapter I will have a free day to like just do a long stream. Because I would go longer if I could. I would love to go longer and talk about what is going on with this. But like I said, I got to go to work, so I got to go get ready and go do stuff. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Maybe we'll do, there's no Black Clover this week, so maybe we'll do another stream on Thursday. I think that's the plan, because unless Josuke is going to do a stream to make up for it, I'll do a stream Thursday, I think. Because I don't work that day. Thursday or Friday. Friday if he does stream, but otherwise I'll do